Hey guys, this is Coach Derek, co-host of the Soapboxing Podcast. Man, ever since I found this Anchor app, I tell you, podcasting has become a lot simpler and a lot easier to do. They distribute the podcast over several platforms, and you have to do no work. I tell you, man, if you're interested in doing podcasting, you need to download the Anchor app. That's ANCHOR.FM. You can get started today with the Anchor app and do whatever your heart desires. Coach Derek here. I wanted to invite you guys to follow our new sponsor, Fighters Rep. It's a California-based premier kickboxing promotion that features some of the best pure strikers on the planet. Fighters Rep utilizes the IKF's unified kickboxing rules, prohibiting two-handed clinches, ensuring that participants stand and fight. Please follow Fighters Rep on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, and be sure to check out fightersrep.com to keep up with their scheduled events, merch, and viewing options. What's going on, guys? Coach Derek here. I wanted to invite y'all to check out In the Ring with Christine, a podcast hosted by cut woman, media personality, and Olympic boxing coach Christine Lopez. In the Ring with Christine can be found on YouTube, Facebook, and Pottertron Network. It includes Women Crushing It Wednesdays, an all-women's panel discussing the previous week in boxing. Please like, subscribe, follow, and share. In the Ring with Christine. How's it going, guys? This is Coach Derek, and it's your boy Manny. You want to remind me? And I'm sure it gets some people all good. Oh, look at this hardware, man. SBA-ABO.
Some trainers say, some fighters say, well, I don't watch videos of the guy fighting. I let the coach watch it. Hey, man.
Guys, one thing we know for sure about Wilder, he hit you clean. Right. And this woman whooped the whole world twice. The whole world.
Danielle.
What's going on?
What's happening, man? I hadn't talked to you since, not on the show anyway, since the last time you was on here, and that was prior to the championship win and the all-girls pay-per-view, right?
That's right. Yeah, that was like.
And I've been wanting to get you on here ever since. But you're getting a little too big for your britches. You can't see the small people. You see, that's what I'm gonna blame it on anyway. If they ask me, that's what I'm gonna say. What's been going on?
That's good. Hannah, Gabriel, and I a fight. We're waiting on a broadcast.
Oh, y'all agreed to a fight?
Well, I mean, both sides said yes, we do want to fight.
Just need to get a platform.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man, I mean, I didn't know that. I didn't hear that nowhere neither. Damn.
Well, let me know about it because you need a date.
Right. But I like to keep my ear to the streets. Man, the streets skip me on that one. That's all right. That's all right. I know though. I got it straight from you that y'all talking anyway, that everybody agreed to it. Quick review, man. How was that all girl show, man, with Marlene, you, the GWOT? How did you enjoy that?
Well, I mean, I've always been a fan of Clarissa's. So to actually to get to meet it was great. It was a lot of good exposure in front of a lot of good sanctioning bodies, a lot of great conversation, good networking. My manager hooked up talking point with major syndicates that I was able to get up Sky Sports. So um, it was great. Um, uh, and I wasn't satisfied with that. With something that's been pressing me for the last couple of months. I can't hear you, D.
How about now?
Hey, I got
Yeah. I think my earphones might have hit the wall or something, man. You was cutting out on me a little bit. You say you wasn't happy with your performance, right? You was cutting in and out on me. I think it was me on the headphones. That's what you said?
Yeah, I wasn't happy with it. And it's something that has been bothering since March 5th. So definitely made some changes to my body and also to training. So looking forward to showcasing my skill set against like a real high level performer, and also world champion like Hannah. Really waiting on like the date is probably like the most. I want this more than Christmas. Like I'm really excited about having this opportunity. So like that, that's something I'm looking forward to. But I was really excited for real professional. I like how they all the business built on their side and how things are moving. It was very organized. I was impressed by the promotion and what they put together and what fell into place. It was really organized. Like for it to be the first, I feel like it would be the last based on how smoothly it ran.
Hannah Gabriel, if that fight comes through, that's an elite fighter. She's an elite fighter. You say you want to perform against the elite level fighters. I mean, that's shit. What's the weight being talked about? Is she gonna come up?
Yeah, she's a heavyweight. Like she took her body up and she got that WBC gold from a woman who was about 50 years old, roughly around her height. Black mobility, real slow. And it ended the fight to get out woman exchange punches. So I have no idea how I'm gonna fight as a heavyweight. So.
Right. So you said you was in condition. I think you was telling me what you wasn't happy with your performance of the last fight. What has been the changes since that fight that you've implemented?
Well, a couple of things have changed. One, I changed my walk around weight and I walk around 20 pounds lighter. My conditioning. Also, I talked to Coach K, and I'm over at J Prince, which is like a boxing gym where it's real hot. But also, there's a lot of different sparring, a lot of different weight classes to work with, a lot of different bodies to move with, a lot of different speeds to adjust to. I have a new team that I'm working with, and I'm very excited about that. So, like a lot of changes really quickly. Things implemented quickly. I also like the fact that I'm being pushed to be the best of Danielle, not just a cleaner version, but a new fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up a lot of things have changed. I'm excited. I had this rebirth a lot, and I've never left the ring Like,
where's your mic, baby? You cutting out on me. Are you close to the mic?
yeah.
You sound crystal clear, and then it chopped up a little bit.
Yeah, you know, it's, you know.
Did you change management?
No, I have the same manager. Like Mark Taffitt's my manager. Salita and King's promotion. They're still my promoters. It's just on the apron. It's just different now, and
Okay.
there's no malice. I don't believe. I just feel like everybody needs you. You got to make a change. It's no discredit to the work that was put in before, because that's important and it needs to be recognized. But moving forward, best case scenario for me is not to make a change.
Right. Who's your new guy?
I'm working with Danielle Perkins, and Darius's coach. He also works with. We have a couple of other fighters. I feel like the catalog, once it's revealed, is going to be like very an impressive. It's an impressive group of individuals.
Nice. Where are y'all training out of? What gym?
Oh, we're at J Prince Gym. K is my dude.
Right.
And he's always been like just a strong supporter of just, making sure like the opportunity for me to be the best. He's always been there. And it's kind of strange because, you meet someone and on Team USA, and there's so many athletes that it's easy for like people to like to kind of just sit back. Yeah, but K's never been that guy. So he's always been a solid foundation for me.
K's my guy, man. That's a great. It's almost like it's funny with K because it seems like the boxers dote on him, and he don't want none of it. Like K wants to be back. He don't want you to say nothing. Like, but he's a very man. He supports. He's just a good guy, man. He supports all the athletes he comes across, and it seems like if he let me say it this way. There is zero ego with K. Zero ego. And when I was talking to Miranda, and she accidentally found her way with K, right? And young girl, she didn't have no idea who K. Zero amateur fights, right? And she says she looks up and sees fucking K on TV and the on the big corners, and she's like, "That's my coach." And it's and it's funny because it makes all the sense in the world to the guys, to the people who know him. Zero ego on that fella, man. And yeah, man, he's one of the good guys. And so if you landed over there in the gym, great gym to work in, I'm sure your trainer feels at home or whatever. I don't know if so Darius is over there too now?
Yeah, and Darius is over there. We all train over at Pierce. It's the strength and conditioning opportunity. They got there's a basketball court over there.
Yeah.
Like that place is like a whole, like it's just like, oh, this is exactly what I needed. It's hot as hell in there. So and you can get good work. Like you just pick up, there's so many good opportunities, especially someone trying to change pace in terms of like speed. And of course, and if you don't put your foot to the gas, you're going to get got. So I like the fact that, it's a fighter's gym. It's somewhere I think that I've been missing, because when I started boxing, I was at Gleason's, and I could spar with world champions. I could pick the brain of people who've had big fights, like, the different coaching, the former fighters that come in. It's just that element that, that really makes champions, is you need to be around You need to be around fighters, and you also need to be around like that uncomfortable feeling of the 8th round every single round. Like that really makes a huge difference.
Well, what it is when you have a great most gyms, there's a top dog, right? And it is what it is. So when a top dog can't really elevate like that, right? And so he ends up having, or she ends up having to seek other places to elevate a game. But if you land in a gymnasium where it's champions and future champions, it's really, there may be a top dog, but everybody's competitive. Everybody's in there working. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a top dog at Maine. There's a top dog at J. Prince. But those places where you get the best working, because there's other dogs in there that's nipping at the heels, I guess you would say. So you'd be hard pressed to beat it here in Houston, you know, and with great guys running both of those gyms, anybody can go. The bullshit singles themselves out. They don't make it. You know what I'm saying? They don't go back around it. If you're a top dog in a small gym and just beating up on green fighters or you know, not so good fighters, you go to a real gym, you're gonna get ran out of there anyway and go back to where it's comfortable if you're not built for it, right? So I'm glad to see. I didn't know Darius went that way. Man, I guess I don't know. I guess I don't really know Danielle, but I think I know who you're talking. The light skinned dude. I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't really just know him. I would love to chop it up with him, you know, and get to know him, man.
You like him. I mean, the thing that I like the most is that he's a southpaw.
That's where you need to be.
Yeah, and then the thing about is the vision on different punches that normally I wouldn't throw because, you know, conventional coaches just, it's not your vision. It's not that, you know, it's not any lack of information. It's just a lack of experience fighting as a southpaw. And like that is awkward. You know, there are a lot more other punches that we're just not going to throw because it's like it could be dangerous. There's a couple of combinations that you can kind of get off pretty quickly as a southpaw. You know, my favorite fighter to watch is Luis Ortiz. You know, I love the way he kind of peppers that jab and just kind of flush shots a lot of those really wild overhand rights. I'm just like, why would you throw that? And if you watch it and you try it in sparring, you're like, yeah, okay.
You know what it is, Danielle? A lot of conventional trainers or conventional wisdom of how to approach southpaws is wrong in my estimation. I'm a conventional who was trained by southpaw, switched to conventional because back then you didn't want to be left-handed, right? But because he was left-handed, I learned we fought southpaws different than everybody. And not only did we not share the information, right? But if we did share the information, people didn't accept it, right? Because they saying, you got to put your foot on the outside and go this way and shit. And I'm like, oh, you want to survive against a southpaw. You don't want to beat them. You want to not get hurt against a southpaw. You don't want to beat them. And so we never had that. And as, I mean, I don't got to prove it. You seen my kid in with buku southpaws and it's never a problem. It's because I understand their advantage. I think the average trainer don't understand their advantage. They just understand, okay, we need to do this to stay safe. And well, you're trying to stay safe, you're going to get your ass whooped because you ain't trying to win. And I think that's a big difference in it. And I think up to now, it's still people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've talked to trainers, older than me, seemingly more experienced than me. And as soon as we start talking shop about fighting left-handed fighters or training left-handed fighters, they really don't have no understanding outside of you gotta go put your foot on the outside and stay. Well, if that's your understanding, you're gonna get your ass whooped, man. Because
I don't mind
Yeah, that's ABC boxing. That's elementary boxing.
Yeah.
But I digress because I'm not gonna tell nobody shit still, and we gonna still whoop Southpaw. but no. It's an advantage, you know. Southpaws don't run me off at all if they walk in the gym. Shit, I train you like I train everybody else, but I totally do it different than what everybody else does. And maybe because I think, maybe, I don't know, like your trainer being a Southpaw understands how he should do things. I think I kind of understand it without, as close as you can without being a left-handed batter. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably where you need to be. You know what I'm saying? Darius, man, everybody knows I'm a huge fan. I'm glad he's over there too. I'm glad y'all over there. I'm glad he's made this move with them boys over there across the water, and then I think he's with that new Probellum thing, huh?
Yeah, I mean Darius is I think the beauty, this is the thing that I do like about the transition from from amateurs to pro. Some people who transition well and pick up speed. I like to say this all the time that Darius was a hammerhead shark. You know what I mean? Like he'd come and he'd get you and he'd bash with you. This hammerhead shark is now evolved with arms and legs. Like you are now going to see a whole new animal walking out. You can't get him on land. You can't get him on water. You're going to have hell to pay when Darius hits the pro scene. I am looking forward to seeing this man debut. They're going to be like,
Is he going to 75? What's he going to?
I think he's fighting 75, yeah.
That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see that. When 2 years ago, I told him, man, when you turn professional, I can't wait to see you at light heavyweight, man.
Yeah, he can definitely clean it up. That division for sure is available. It's anyone's. It's
a live division, man. You know, that cruiserweight kind of is no man's land, but that 75 could be a star. You know what I'm saying?
Easy.
I'm excited about seeing him as a professional, but I didn't know, man. I remember we talked about that Hannah Gabriel's fight, and I remember my buddy Evans was trying to push it, and I told him, get her on the show. I want to talk to her. If she, you know, I get Manny in here if she don't speak English. I don't know if she do the English or not, but
she speaks English. I mean, Hannah's a pro. She's been around for a while. You know, she understands the marketability of things. She hasn't been that present on the line. I think it's because she's, you know, she got her head down and she's working. So, this is gonna be good.
yeah, I want to see it, man. I want to see it. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of her too. I'm not, you know, I'm a fan of her, but you know,
it's whatever. I'm saying I beat my heroes. It's no big deal.
And I'm a root for her. I could be, you know, they always ask, Coach, what's gonna happen in this fight? But you want me to tell you who I'm rooting for or who I think's gonna win? It don't all the time be the same. And I can root for a person but if you fight my people, I call me stubborn. I'm one of them types. You know what I'm saying? I told it's hard for me to, like, when the times I don't root for the American, it's hard as shit for me. The American got to be done ran me off because I'm almost blind without rooting for the American. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard for me that. But if I know you and I'm, you know, squad, shit, we got to win, man. I'm eager to see this fight, and she's a big girl, but you bigger. You a lot bigger. Hey, as big as Clarissa is. Clarissa's a big girl, man.
Yeah, but you see me stand next to Clarissa.
Yeah, man. It's a huge difference, man. You know, Clarissa Shields was my best friend. She just don't know it. We just ain't, you know.
Because I think she's kind of bought into the fact that you guys are friends.
Yeah. She knows it. I message her all the time. She answers back, you know.
Yeah, she rock with you.
When when I run into her, she gonna see. Nah, she's got a big one. She got a big one coming up on the MMA.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Man, hey, I get to watch those fights as a strictly fan, right? And man, I was so nervous when she fought that first girl.
Like, come on, like, listen, I was over here like, come on, Clarissa, let's go.
Well, look, I haven't hid the fact that I was like, man, she ain't supposed to win this fight. I don't care what nobody says. It's a different sport, right? And as great as she is, it's a different everything, right? And imagine a fighter as great as Clarissa. Imagine a boxer going in this MMA world and winning, man. She's not supposed to do it. But so I'm like, I'm rooting for her, but then now I'm scared and I'm looking at the TV and my son's in there and he's like, what's wrong with you, man? I said, man, this shit ain't right. I was like, it's so foreign, man. It's so foreign. So, but now, if you ask me, did I think she could win? Of course. I think she's fucking special, right? And then she gets tackled and shit. And I'm like, damn, this is what I was worried about. You're getting tackled and shit. But Clarissa Shields has zero amount of give up. And you don't have to have give up to get beaten that shit, right? They snap your arm or something. But I never did waver. I never said she's out of there. I'm like, look at her. She's fighting. So when she won, oh, man, it was like Mardi Gras in here, man. I was like, man, this shit is special, man. You ain't supposed to do this shit. This shit is special. Yeah, my son was rooting. We was chanting. My wife, she loves her too. I said, man, this is fucking tremendous, man. This is some tremendous shit right here that people, and then, well, me with the women's boxing, I'm a supporter. So I'm like, man, are you motherfuckers seeing this? And then it's funny because immediately, oh, well, who's that girl? I said, who's that girl? A professional MMA fighter. That's who she is. This is her world. What you mean, who's that girl? Like Clarissa Shields supposed to just jump in the ring with what's her name? The UFC girl. What's her name? You know what I'm talking about. The Puerto Rican or something?
What, Nunez?
Like she's supposed to just.
I don't know. It'd be like your first fight being against Mayweather. Like,
yeah.
My feet.
What the fuck are y'all talking? The fans are the worst. The fans are the worst, man.
If you've ever been on a mat, jiu-jitsu's not easy. Freaking karate, all of that, and Muay Thai, none of that's easy. I mean, boxing alone, there's a lot of concentration, a lot of counters, a lot of things can happen. So you put all of that together, and then it's just like, oh, I just started doing this. She didn't grow up doing jiu-jitsu. She didn't grow up doing Muay Thai. She's a boxer. So you put her in there with someone who's going to take her down. It's an element. But I was just like, listen, Clarissa was in great shape. When she got up off the bat in the second round, being down on the mat roughly the whole round, I was like, she's going to knock this girl out. There's going to be a point where she's going to be able to put her hands on her because the girl flinched every single time. I said, once she puts her hands on that girl, that's it. So when the girl came rushing across and Clarissa threw that kick, I was like, okay, we in the game. Let's go. And then I was just like so impressed with her ground game, her being keep that girl in the guard, staying strong, and also not panicking.
That's it right there. That's the move right there. You put me on my back, I'm gonna be like a fucking turtle. I'm gonna be stuck and don't know, what I'm saying, to know where to put your feet and I guess I know to pull them in. You don't want no distance because they'll grab your arms and shit. But man, that shit in 6 months. What she was doing that shit a year, 6 months maybe of training.
I mean, even if she's done it for, let's say, 2 years, it's still not enough time where this is what you do. I'm coming into, like, if someone's like a shark attack, shark's been swimming the whole time. I survive a shark attack, you lose. Right.
So, yeah, that shit is special, man. And I'm enjoying it. I made a post the other day and she came under there laughing and liked it and shit. I said, you motherfuckers are steady rooting against Clarissa Shields, and I'm enjoying her doing shit you can't do. You want to do it and can't do it. That's I say this shit is spectacular, man. And to see her, do that and then fucking be successful, man, that shit is bananas, man. That shit is bananas. This is shit. Listen. Early 90s, I hooked up with a partner who his background was kickboxing, mine was boxing. He had got into the jiu-jitsu, and he started making me watch UFC. At the time, it was Frank Shamrock. It was like the top dog, and a couple of like Mark something was a top dog. I didn't know none of these guys, so he finally talked me into going to his jiu-jitsu shit, and I went. And God damn, man, the amount of, and then they do that shit with a blanket on, you know, and they rousing and rouse. I said, man. So I knew from 1995 how real that shit was. So from 95 to now, I couldn't tell you how many boxers I had to say, no. When they say I go in there and I'm gonna just knock them out. No. That ain't how that shit works, bro. I remember, true story, about 98. My cousin Chucky, he when he died, he was 10-8 knockouts. He fought the kickboxing champion, United States kickboxing champion, but it was boxing. So he basically just treated his kicks like a jab, right? Kept his distance, and then when he attacked, it was over. It went around, right? And everybody like, man, Chucky only got like 6 fights, and he knocked out the kickboxing world champion or whatever, right? And I'm like, yeah, man, that's nice, but that ain't what they doing in the cage, bro. That's a whole nother fucking thing, And so, and I'm not no MMA guy. I don't run around thinking. I knew Conor McGregor was gonna get his ass beat trying to box somebody. That shit, it's as silly as somebody going in that and trying to do it. But Clarissa Shields is doing it. That's fucking bananas, man. It is bananas that this woman is doing this shit.
It's so crazy, but it also is like, like underrated. So you got like Clarissa Shields is the biggest name to do it, but Amanda Serrano has been doing it for a while.
I felt so bad that I was late to the show with her.
Listen, I've known Savannah, like, I remember I trained with her, Jordan, and her sister when I lived in Brooklyn for a short period of time. Mm-hmm. Jordan's no joke. Jordan's a very good trainer. I do intense, he meets business, and those girls are gonna put hands to you. Like, listen, Amanda, to me, I was like, oh, that little girl hits hard. Okay, right. like so I can imagine her kicks. They fight with demons. Like, that's just how you're in there and they're fighting against a demon. They're gonna beat you. They're gonna put hands on you. They're gonna wear you out. And Amanda's no joke. When they say Amanda's the real deal, I can honestly say, standing next to Amanda Serrano's the real deal. And freaking Clarissa Shields is for real the greatest. These two chicks are underrated and underpaid. So like when it comes to like MMA, like chicks that get you one that could do both. You got a chick who could do boxing and MMA. You got Amanda Serrano at those lightweight classes. Like, we're like handling people. It doesn't matter who they put in there with her. It doesn't matter what weight class. She'll drop down to 118. She'll fight whoever. You're the best at this weight class, fine. I'll take your belt too. Then you got Clarissa Shields doing the exact same thing. And but she transfers over to MMA, and it's just like, it wasn't seamless, which I think people also need to recognize. It wasn't easy. And she's a great athlete. She had to take her lumps. And at no point, even in the press conference, she's like, I've never been in a situation like this where I was losing a fight. So she's not just a boxer. She's a great fighter. She has to fight.
I was late to the Amanda Serrano show, but when I jumped on, I'm all aboard, man. And for all the crap that the Jake Paul kid gets, man, when he fucking gave her that money for that show, man, and gave all the boxers some shows except the ones who refused it. Yeah, I'm never gonna be a Jake Paul saying he could do something he can't, but that kid didn't have to do that, and if he's wealthy, so he still didn't have to do that, man. He gave that girl reportedly And no woman, no woman, I don't think made that kind of money, man. So, and then turn around and sign into a promotional deal. And I'm like, hey, if you hate this kid, you hate fighters then, because rather you think he can fight or can't fight, it doesn't matter. What he's doing for that particular fighter is more than anybody else was doing, and more than they trying. And if you're a woman's boxing fan, this is what it's going to take somebody to do something like this, so that the people shut up and watch and go, oh, this is, you was tripping. These guys are fighting, man. This is what it's about right here, fighting. And so I was happy for her, man. And I'm on the Amanda Serrano team too. I've been rooting for her ever since I seen her on. It was like on the fluke. It was on a fluke day. They had boxing on TV. It was like on an oddball day, and she was the main event. And I said, "Oh shit, man!" And then I looked into her, seen she fought MMA and all that type of stuff. So she's a bad girl, man.
She does jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Oh shit, she's just a fighter, man. She's just a fighter. That's all that is.
I mean, thing about it is she usually makes a pound for pound list. People love Katie Taylor, you know. And the thing is, I'm so looking forward to Amanda Serrano fighting Katie Taylor, because you want to talk about rooting for American. Not only is she American, she's from my hood. She's from Bushwick. Like, I want Amanda Serrano.
She wins that fight.
I want that fight. I think because Amanda Serrano for real is the real deal. Like, there's not going to be, listen.
She wins that fight. That's my opinion.
Oh, for sure, she wins that fight. But not only does she win the fight, she wins that fight with a statement. Katie Taylor is not going to be able to handle the amount of pressure. I mean, the girl on average shoots out 70 hard punches.
Yeah, I don't see and I ain't shitting on Katie Taylor. I understand she's she's their crown jewel and shit, but she ain't gonna beat Amanda Serrano, man.
I give it maybe 6 rounds.
Yeah, I don't see it winning that. So what we at now, Danielle? 3-0, 2-0?
3-0.
All right. I tell all the gals, because they got a few gals over, gals that come to me for advice and shit, right? And I root for everybody. So I said, listen, man, it's a rough game. Y'all know this, but it's even rougher game for y'all, because it comes with little to no what's the word, fanfare, or you got to almost convince people you as good as you already done prove you are. That's frustrating. But secondly, as a professional, women, hey, you win a couple fights, boom. Let's put her in there with the best. Let's see what she can do. Now at heavy, in three fights, you got that. You fought for the WBC Silver title. It ain't like who's the other heavies? You saying Hannah's a heavy now, so she got to be right. Does she got titles at heavy?
Oh, that's what I'm fighting her for. I'm fighting her for 2 titles.
She got them, or y'all fighting for them?
She got them. She got. I mean, listen, DeBella is a great promoter. That guy knows how to position his fighters. He also makes sure that they get paid. So shout out to DeBella. On the back end, I have Salita and I have Marshall, who are also good promoters. I have Mark Taffet, who's also a great manager. So there's strength in numbers, and on the back end of it, I knew going into this being like an amateur world champion that people were going to shy away, but we didn't know COVID was going to happen. And of course, international fights were going to be an issue. So there's some things that just kind of come into play. Who freaking knew? Without Jimenez a bunch of times, I haven't heard back. I'm pretty sure she wants to fight Franchon again. And I'm pretty sure Franchon wants to fight her again. So I'm not going to drop down to 165 to fight anybody, because if that was an option, I would have, competed to fight for a spot on the Olympics. I can't be 165. So I'm a legit heavyweight. So there are some people overseas. Of course, Hannah's not American. So, I feel like most of my fights are not going to be Americans. And any that is around, they're like, yes, I want to fight. We send a contract. No, I don't want to fight. So it's just like, I don't have time for that. We also are going to explore some MMA options, because like the thing is, I want to fight. So like, I like to fight. And it keeps my demons at bay. So I want to fight. I want to fight often. And I'm going to say this, like, I'm excited to have as many opportunities as possible, whether it's MMA or it's boxing. It kind of doesn't matter to me at this point. It didn't matter to me begin with, but on the back end of it, I like boxing because it's easier than MMA.
That's man, that's it. What you know about that shit, man? You got an MMA coach? You got you gonna get one if they present it?
Well, the thing is, I was working, God rest his soul, Saul, he was Cyborg's coach. He passed away. He was my MMA coach. He passed away from COVID. But he was someone who really opened my eyes up to doing jiu-jitsu and even the opportunity for MMA. He installed so much confidence that I was ready to take the walk in December with him. I was like, with this guy in my corner, I have no doubt in my mind. All I have to do is listen to the instructions, and I'm strong enough and I'm able-bodied enough to handle anybody they put in a cage with me, because I'm strong. I know how to do takedowns. I have no problems with attacks, and I, of course, have hands. And I'll front kick the shit out of somebody. So long story short, I'll fight. I don't mind the fight. So Saul passed away, and that really kind of sucked the life out of what I considered to be like my new world championship status as an MMA fighter. But I've talked to Mark also, like there are some other connections in Houston. We're also exploring some connections outside. Me and Gabby Garcia talked about having an opportunity of us fighting overseas. And I think that would be a good opportunity going into 2022, if not second or third quarter. She's a big girl. She's strong, but she also will be great. I like competition. You know what I mean? Like I don't like easy fights. Like I didn't have easy fights until I became a pro. When I was a freaking amateur, they were like, "Oh, this is a world champion." Like, whatever. I got a fighter. We got a fighter. It's the luck of the draw, So,
right.
And that's one thing I think people misunderstand about the amateurs. That's where you should kind of get your balls, is that you have no option but to go in and fight whoever. You got to sign to a tournament. This guy's a national champion.
Elite amateurs, yeah. Elite amateurs is where you cut your balls for the pros. Yeah, it's real. It's a different, a lot of times you're talking to people, and I know you get this when you tell them, no, this guy was a world's medalist or Pan Am Games medalist or something. They go, but this is the pro. No. I'm not talking about the Silver Gloves and Golden Gloves City Tournament. I'm talking about this motherfucker fighting the best people on planet Earth. That's what he's doing. So it's imperative, and the response in the experience you gain from fighting elite amateur, I'm sure is second to none, right? What they gonna do? What they gonna do? What changes at the beginning of your pro career for guys? Anyway, you fighting less people lesser quality people than them elite amateurs, man. But again, that's not for fans. The no fans don't know shit, man. They just
of a pro fighter is you trying to make sure you protect your investment so you can get some good TV time. When you're an amateur, it's on TV and it doesn't matter. Everybody, pretty much shows up with their A game. They got their whole squad. And they already marked you off of the bracket. Like, oh, this person don't have that much experience overseas. We'll get through this one. The U.S. is not that great. Well, that's what they used to say about us. They don't say that about us now. Now the U.S. comes with a little bit of heat. You come with us, we're gonna come back. We have like a solid team at every single weight class. So,
Absolutely.
Like now it's a team to be respected. But before, you know, me and Q first got on the team, we were like, wait, so what number are we on this list?
You know, it's sad because it as a fan of, you know, you may be different. You're such a all-around athlete, started out playing ball and shit. You know, Olympic time comes, I'm looking for the boxing. And for years, man, the shit's on at 3 a.m, if at all. But when I was growing up, Ray Leonard was a celebrity before he threw a fucking professional punch. You know what I'm saying? Like all these guys, and then you're like, man, this sucks. I don't know why I'm not interested in being no Olympic trainer or nothing, but man, we was dead for so long, man. We was dead for so long, man. And a couple coaches was giving the guys some flack this year. I said, man, that's 3 silvers, man. And what did one of our girls medal too, right?
Yeah, O'Shea got a bronze. Like, you know,
O'Shea got a bronze. Duke, Keyshawn, and big what's his name? I forgot. Richard.
Think about him. I mean, I've stood side by side by Richard. Richard's not a big guy, but Richard's got some grit. He's got some serious grit. That guy. Think about it. Like in 2019, he was knocked out at Worlds, and it became huge controversy about pros being into. I was just like, you know, and no one ever talks about it because this is a danger it's always present. It's a danger that's always present because we're all fighting pros, except that we're not pros, we're amateurs. So they're used to having a different setup of a match, also different setup of punches. We're all shooting in flurries. They're like catch, bam. You're like, wait a minute. Like
that's the difference between the amateurs and pro. Whoever's heading the program, if it's to win amateur style boxing, you know, chances is not set up to end the fight. You know, you're trying to dominate. I mean, people get knocked out, but it's a different, you know. Whereas the pros, man, look, we got to get. Maybe our strength is to knock him out, right? Not to sit here and box. So it's a huge difference, man. And Richard, I remember when that happened, man. And that shit kind of went viral, and I was like, I like this kid, man. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because not that, hey, I think it was Tyson. Mike Tyson said, you know, only when we risk total embarrassment, total worldwide shame, do you attain greatness, right? And that was some heavy shit. Like he always says heavy shit, you know what I'm saying, that you don't expect him to say, and then he'll hit you with some shit that you gotta go, oh Lord, this dude's way heavier than I am, you know what I'm saying? But he was saying only faced with that kind of embarrassment do you attain greatness, right? And so, but it also, if it happens to you, there's no walking back from that. It's either going to push you further in your drive and your character to you know, to excel, or it's going to ruin you, you know. So anytime that happens to a fight, especially somebody you're rooting for, it's really a wait and see. Like, okay, how does he recover from this shit? Or, you know, and flying colors, the kid got up and said, this is what I am. I'm a fighter. And look what he did. Went to the gold medal round in the Olympics, man. So, and very undersized. Very undersized, but also like very underestimated. Like,
yes. I was just like, you know, I know Richard, and it's easy to believe in Richard. It's easy to get on the Richard fan, but it's so easy to become a fan of Richard Torres. It's unbelievable. Like this kid, he kind of fits all the boxes for like the American. Like,
nothing not to like, right? Absolutely.
Like spoken, like very polite, just falls in line. Such a good, hardworking. And you look at the heavyweight class, if he's not the smallest version of a heavyweight that we've ever brought, but I mean, the biggest freaking fight you've ever had. Like, there's no bigger fight in any fighter on that team than in Richard Torres. Like, that guy, he brings the heat. And it's like, I'm happy for him. I'm glad.
Very proud of that kid, man. Very.
Well, like, he's well deserved. I mean, also with Keyshawn and freaking Duke, like, those guys also put on. I mean, Duke was put on a show, boy. Keyshawn was also showing out. Like,
my favorite, and I've said this publicly, and he knows it too. My favorite amateur of them boys is Troy. Out the gate, I tell it, I love that fucking kid, man. I done had him on the mitts, and that kid's special, man. He's very special, bro. And I love Tiger too. You know what I'm saying? Tiger's my guy. I love them all. But man, that little Duke, man, I like that dude, bro. And I ain't really just, I mean, I've been over there at Jay Prince when he's working and shit. Man, that's a special kid too, man. Man, that's a special fucking squad, bro. Them guys good, man. I like them. I like them a lot.
That's a very good team. I was just like the opening ceremony, you can tell, like, you know, like it's done. You know what I mean? Like, camp's over. This is the opportunity of a lifetime that not too many people will ever get. And I feel like everybody, regardless if they medaled or not, they represented really well.
Very good, very good. You know, it crushed me when Jenny lost so early and shit. I was like, man, she worked so fucking hard. Who's not a fan of her? You know what I'm saying? Like, she's, man. But that, you know, that don't stop nothing. It's the next turn now. Let's see what y'all do. I really don't think like my guy Troy. I don't think there's a ceiling for that kid. I really don't.
Troy's young. I mean, also, like, he just came back from shoulder surgery. You know, Duke was messed up shoulder. Like, you know, these are people who are like constantly overcoming life, overcoming like injuries. Like, it's a very special team, very, very underrated, but also like no complaints.
Took it on the chin.
Yep, pretty much. They no complaints. They did what they had to do. They actually put in work. If nothing else, they really operated as real professionals for Team USA. Like, not a single complaint, no excuses, and that came from both sides. Everybody put in their work. They accepted whatever happened at the end of the day because they know they put their best foot forward. And you know, we all know, like, no matter what happens, judges are the judges. But you know, all you can do is, you know, showcase your skill set, and that's that.
All right, so we got, man, you better message me too if that paperwork gets signed for this one, man, so I can be prepared so we can do something about it, man. I want to see this. I want this fight to happen, man.
Yeah, me too.
Wait a minute. Not because we friends. Not just that. And my buddy Evans is her trainer with the strength, right? So, and I'm a fan. But I think it's a high level fight. I think it's two great fights. Like, it ain't gonna be no
easy fight. Walk
in there and somebody gets fucking down. Somebody gonna have to get caught slipping to get dominated. Because other than that, it's about to be some shit. You know, it's about to be some serious shit. So that's just an exciting fight, man. You know, I would have liked to. I don't even know if that one gal is still fighting, the one who franchise. They did her wrong. I ain't never heard nothing about her no more. So I know we was clamoring for that fight for a second, but is she fighting still or no?
I don't know. I know she's with Pepe.
Did she get suspended for all that or no?
Yeah, but I mean, that was almost 2 years ago. Think about it.
Yeah, I ain't seen nothing about her no more. I was like, yeah, that's a good one, huh?
Yeah, originally a heavyweight. Like, she walked around like 240 pounds.
Right.
Used drugs to cut down, and I was just like, you know, the conversation was, you know, there's no heavyweights. I mean, she could have fought Savannah Marshall at 175 because Savannah Marshall was like, she'll fight anybody at any weight except for heavyweight. So
Savannah Marshall's that big?
Savannah Marshall's a big girl.
I didn't realize she was. But she don't compete at that weight now.
But you know, people started getting fighters like to fight, so she started getting antsy and she wanted to fight.
She's like, hell, I go up there and get you. Savannah Marshall, I think will whoop her. Savannah Marshall's a fighter. Huh?
Yeah, Savannah also has 2 hammers. So, but also she has 2 hammers for girls who are relatively. They usually put her in the ring with girls who are relatively smaller than her. She hasn't really fought anyone eye to eye because I mean,
you know which one I want. You know who I want for that one.
Well, I mean, the thing with Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields, that's also a very good scrap. It's a very good scrap.
You give me you versus Hannah. Give me Clarissa versus Marshall. And who else? Who's out there? And Taylor and Serrano. That's my 3 right there. That's my 3 super fights for the girls, man. I want to see all them fights, man. I want to be there too, but y'all gonna take that shit to Timbuktu or something. Whoever pays the money. That's gonna be great fights, though.
Fights in Dubai or something like that. That'd be like,
hey, make sure, and I'm sure I ain't gotta say it, but if you go to Dubai, make sure Danielle send somebody over there to check them gloves, man. You seen Bobby caught that boy with them gloves, huh? When they was fighting Trout out there with the dirty raps, man. That's a dirty game, man. It's a dirty game, man. And each commission is weak at something, man. It's terrible.
You know what I'm saying? That's number 1. So you could put 2 rocks in, but I'm gonna be on my twinkle toes. I'm not gonna be. I'm 20 flight of D. Like I'm not gonna stand there for it.
There it is. What you thought of the combination of Fury Wilder? Did it go the way you expect?
Well, here's the thing. So, like, you know, everybody talks about, you know, the training. And the training, I didn't see any response defensive-wise. I felt like Deontay Wilder really was expressing, you know, like his new addition to his offense, where it's like his offense wasn't what lost him the fight last time. It was his defense. His defense was trash. He has no response to any of the stuff that Fury puts out. In addition to, he didn't need to gain any weight. So 4th round, if he was in better shape, he would have been able to survive and maybe give an upset maybe in the 7th or 8th round because Fury was exhausted.
Yeah.
But to take that damage from a heavyweight with no defense, I mean, he didn't hold. He didn't even try to parry anything. He was taking full-on flush shots.
He don't have that ability, baby. He don't know how to do none of that. He was never taught none of that.
Yeah, there was no additional like breakdown in terms of pressure and punches. Like you don't even know how to punch hard. Like that's a problem, and that's gonna wear you out in the beginning of a fight. So it's just like,
and that was a very flat Fury, man. Fury didn't look good at all, like he did the first 2 times.
Well, I mean, the guy had like this unlimited camp. Like you can't be in camp and mentally stay checked in that whole time. Like mental breakdown.
And I seen like the week after the fight, Big John, his daddy, was on a podcast in England, English boxing podcast, and he told him, he said, look, man, I know when he got COVID, everybody thought it was a gimmick to get out the fight and shit. He said, man, when he was here, I told him we at least need to try to run a little bit. He said, man, Fury couldn't go a mile. So while he wasn't having like a bunch of other symptoms, his breathing was fucked up. He was like, I'm running, because his dad's like in his mid-50s. He was like, we doing the 3 miles and I'm stopping. He can't breathe. And so his dad was like, man, we need to stop the fight. And he said, Tyson was like, man, this fight done got moved on so many times. I'm going to just have to fight it, you know. And then his daughter was born sick and shit. So I think the camp probably was bad because of what you just said. Getting sick and the stuff with his child. And he's just a professional. Like, all right, we got to go, man. We got to go and do this shit, and I'm going to figure out a way. And it almost cost him. You know, he got hurt. He walked into something. But
a couple times. Yeah,
Tyson Fury, you know, and I know he's not American and shit, so that's a turn off to most American, you know, boxing fans, just naturally. But I think he, as an Englishman, as a Brit, he's like the most beloved Brit from America that we ever seen. Because think about it, when Lennox came, bro, nobody wanted Lennox. They didn't want him. We didn't want him.
He's really
huh?
He's like Jamaican, not really, but then he's Canadian. Like no one knows.
Yeah, nobody didn't want him, right? And then even me, because I was still a young guy, and it took me forever to jump on the Lennox. Matter of fact, till he fought Ray Mercer, and I seen that war, I said, "Oh, this guy's a fucking problem." I said, "Oh man, he just got clipped in that first one," and then I started giving in to him. But he was like a man without a country. Yeah. But then Fury comes over here with this salesmanship, and don't get me wrong, it's still half of the, half of the people still ain't bought into him, but half did, and that's never really happened before outside of America, an American fight that I realized from a British fighter, and people just gotta understand, man, this guy is a special fucking guy, man. I know he don't look like what they want, but his boxing ability, his understanding of what to do is he's up there with the best in the game right now. And then he's a mountain of a man, which makes a bigger problem. But that salesmanship, he's everything that America likes about a fighter, man. And it's
he's hilarious.
You wish we had something else to root for outside of Wilder, but there really ain't nothing at the top level right now. Now we may have something coming.
Yeah, we got Jared coming. Jared is going to take that heavyweight division in a very short period of time. But like Deontay Wilder is underwhelming.
What's his future, man? What you think?
I mean, it doesn't matter if he fights Otto Wan. Otto is freaking left-handed. He fights Dylan White. I feel like Dylan White's going to put him to work. I think Luis Ortiz is too quick.
He's the punch is real. We gotta. Are you on board with that? The punch is real.
Got a shotgun for a right hand. Like he's no joke. Like he has God-given strength. Like hit that right hand's no joke.
But from here on out, I feel like he's got 2 or 3 rounds to get to land that big thing. Man, he took such a beating in them 2 fights, man. That shit was rough, man. That shit was really rough. And I freely, of course, in the 3rd fight, I had Fury in 3. He almost did it, but so I had to give in. I had to give in and say, Deontay Wilder, the math just don't work out for me. He shouldn't have had the guts that he had in that fight. With all the excuses, he shouldn't have been man enough to do that shit, but he did. So I got to sit back and say I was wrong. This guy's a tough motherfucker, but tough ain't enough, man. Tough don't get you hurt, son. It's gonna get you hurt bad, man. And he damn near won me over a little bit from that steady getting up trying to win, right? But now I don't see no upside other than money, other than they gonna pay you something at first, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know what that kid should do. He's 35, but it's like he's there with them guys now. Them guys are gonna get him, man. They gonna get him now. It's like,
he's in a bad situation. I think the thing that it would have been different if it went to decision, but the brutality of like the last couple of rounds, it's just like I don't know if it was. I mean, yes, as a fighter, you're like, damn, that dude's tough, but also think about being the fighter on the other end where you're like, what the hell? Go, like, I'm beating the dog shit out of you. Go down. Like, I can't stop doing my job. I have to keep hitting you. I don't want to.
Oh, I can't shit on that corner any more than I have publicly. And if they don't like it, fuck them. They'll run into me somewhere and tell me about it because you ain't shit. You ain't shit for them, man. To me. Now,
ears were bleeding, his nose, his mouth is bleeding, and then you just he had no defense, and Tyson Fury had to knock him out.
Yeah. Like Aaron said though, Aaron told me, he said, Coach, had that boy stop that fight, nobody gets paid. I said, you know what? You're right. But that's the place, that's the corner they painted themselves into. And I'm going, what would I do? Right? What would I do? Man, son, you've been walking on your heels since the third round. Even though you hurt him in that fourth, you ain't got no balance. Your ears leaking, your face is swollen. What am I doing, man? What are we doing here, man? And it's like, man, I don't want to charge nobody out, but I can say what I would do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do that shit, man. That shit's stupid, bro. You listen, you showed the whole world, you gonna keep fighting. And he did until he got knocked unconscious. That's what he did. Long as he could ball his fist, he was gonna throw that motherfucker. Win, lose, or draw. Man, ain't nobody should have a problem with his guts. You know what I'm saying? His guts is real. But man, they gotta have somebody with some sense in there. Somebody gotta have some sense in your corner. What you got? Shakur Herring, what you got?
Are you kidding me, Shakur?
All right. How?
I'm just gonna go decision. Thing with Jamel owns the same kind of guts. He's a Marine.
He's a likable guy too. Yeah, he's hard to root against.
He's I mean, they're both, Team USA alumni. But I mean, Shakur's reaction and speed and his punch selection is, I mean, with Jamel, I mean, you got to root for Jamel just for the fact it's just like his story is so intense.
Yeah.
But if I put my money where my mouth is, I'm going with Shakur.
What's going to happen? Is it November 5th? No, November 5th is Tank and
Roland.
Yeah. How that one go?
What do you mean Tank gonna knock him out? Tank's gonna hit him with that infamous.
How soon?
I give it 4th round.
All right. This maybe December 5th. I'm talking about
Caleb Plant
and Canelo. Yeah.
And Caleb Plant's getting put to sleep. He should just bring a pillow him to the ring. Caleb Plant does listen. He don't listen. I don't watch the fight with him and Truax. I was just sitting there thinking to myself, why can't you put this man down? Like, he's giving you tons of opportunity. You hit all these stupid ass angles, and you're not capitalizing on any of it. You get paid way too much not to end this fight early. Like, this is the expectation that this guy goes down quickly. And I was like, man. And like, here's the thing: you wouldn't bet against Cotto. Why would you bet against Canelo? If Cotto came back and fought Caleb Plant, who would you bet on?
Oh, that kid don't belong in the ring with Cotto.
Exactly, he don't belong in the ring with Canelo either. And Canelo's he's like nice prime too. He's walking in Vaseline on his elbows. Boom.
Hey, this shit's gonna be bad. My thing is this. I made a bold prediction, right? I don't shy away from my bold prediction. And I watch everything. I think old buddy quits. I think he quits midway. Man, maybe 5 or 6. That's what I think happens in the corner. In other words, in the corner, a shoulder's gonna hurt or a knee done went out or some shit like that. Let's see.
Or he might quit before the fight.
Hey, now, if he proves me wrong, the next day, I'll publicly say, hey, you had more guts than I thought, but he don't win. I don't see no kind of way he wins that fight.
It's broken too. Yeah,
man. So I think I'm going to give Tank and Rolly a round. You give him 4, I'm going to give him a round.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Tank is Tank's hilarious.
Yeah. He said, man, get the whole fucking team out of boxing, man. I've never heard a professional boxing trainer say, I don't care about all them skills. I'm gonna take karate, street fighting, and boxing, and that's how. That makes me be like, where you? How you got in here? Like, who put you on this thing, man? What's your background? Because that's like almost like a fan thing to say, right? Like when you at the barbershop, motherfucker say Bruce Lee would have beat up Mike Tyson, and you go, yeah, you don't know nothing about fighting, do you? That's what the fuck are you talking about, dude? But they be serious, they be passionate, right?
What?
Like the movies is real life.
It's like I can't. They not like Bruce Lee's dead, son. I can't put no money on it. What are you talking about?
That shit is insane, man. But yeah, man, we got some good end of the year fights. Huh?
You know, like Rolly's special. Rolly is one of those people who shows up in boxing, and everybody's like,
yeah.
That's your boy. You with him?
That's him. That's him. So hopefully we can do this thing, man, before the year's out. You're hoping for December, huh?
I hope it before the year's out. I mean, that'd be like great.
Right.
I wanted to carry. Like, hopefully before the year.
And the MMA aspirations is real. That's something that can happen.
Yeah, now I'm gonna fight. I don't care.
Man, you already know I'm squad Danielle. So I can't help you with that shit. Now, coach, when they put me in one of these ankle locks, man, you shit out of luck fucking with me. I don't know nothing about it.
You get an ankle really are shit.
Get your mouthpiece out, bite that motherfucker. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how you reverse that shit. I have no idea with it, man. But yeah, man, let's get that fight going, and hopefully, I mean, if you get an MMA fight, let me know, man. Let's talk it up, especially after you win the motherfucker, because I'm thoroughly impressed. I know how they try to pawn it off as like the new term is combat sports, right? I don't think I really like that. Here's why. I get it. I understand it. But I'm like, but boxing and MMA is so different thing. It's completely different. It's like you want to gel them together like as if these things coexist. And they really don't, except with a motherfucker like Amanda Serrano or Clarissa Shields. And that story is being told, so we don't know how it ends, right?
Right.
But it's like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like these MMA guys can come in boxing and win a world title, man. I'm not gonna pretend that shit with you. So if we just saying combat sports, meaning any fighting art, okay, I get it. It is fighting, but it's completely different martial arts, man. It's completely different. I can't pretend like and the power of popularity allow Conor McGregor to come to our sport and make a truck ton of money in somewhere he didn't belong, like at all. He didn't belong in there at all. And I know there's some MMA people that thought he was doing good and winning and shit. And I'm like, man, it's a good thing he was in there with the kid who because he was walking him down, even though he wasn't, he wasn't winning shit. He wasn't winning nothing, no section of that fight at all. And to the untrained eye, I guess they can't see it. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's like if I was watching that over there, I don't know what I'm looking at. I have no clue.
Yeah, you watch a UFC fight, the first round, someone's getting their face kicked in and bashed in, you're like blood everywhere. Everyone's like, man, this guy's going down. Next round, his face is cleaned up. He runs across, flying kick. He won. I
thought about it the other day. I said, this is how neophyte I am with the shit. I said, man, because when they count it, I said, oh, wait, they don't count. You ain't no count out. If you get knocked down, they jump on you or the ref stops it. I said, so they really ain't no, it's just you going out. It's just how you go out. Yeah.
Pretty much. If you want to fight to the end and fight out to the end, you can fight out to the end. But if you get kicked in the mouth and you still can fight,
gotta go. You all right, where they can follow you, Danielle?
On Instagram, Chambers11221.
WBC Silver Heavyweight. What did that do for your rankings as far as that heavyweight? Where you at?
I gotta check box rec. You know I don't.
Yeah, I would have to look it up too.
Yeah.
But I know you're proud of that. So hopefully we get something going here. And if you get in there with Hannah, that's 2 more titles, man. That's gonna be a beautiful thing. Hopefully I can get a face-off episode with you and her, man. That'd be great.
Yeah, no, it wasn't for that, but I'll be down for it. I'm like, hey, Hannah.
yeah. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get it done. I got some strings to pull over there.
She seems like a nice person. I don't have no malice, it's business,
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I'm glad we caught up again, man. I've been trying to get you on here. We got the time, so that was I appreciate you. And y'all go follow Danielle Chamber. What it is again?
I got an alias. You can call me Danielle Perkins.
All right. Yeah, I don't be wanting to put the wrong thing. All right, man. Appreciate you, baby. We're gonna be rooting for you, and hopefully, when you get the fight, let me know, man, so we can help you promote it.
Oh, I do appreciate it, Derek. Thanks for having me on.
All right. See you later.
Later.